All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on YouTube. Yes, yes, another beautiful Saturday night with Jeremy and a sleeping Pat. Okay, he's a we
Yes,
gotta
I'm sleepy. I've been sick and
we gotta we
not
got a
able to
nodder
use
over
my
here. We got a nodder.
CPAP basically all week because I've been so congested. So yeah. I've
Oh
had
well,
days this week at work where I've been like, maybe I should go home and work from home the rest of the day after I take a 2 hour nap because I'm barely staying awake.
you know what?
It is not good.
Why not? That's a great idea.
I like naps. Every once in a while, I get to take one. Not very often.
You know, that'd be great if I could take a nap, you know?
I feel like I should like negotiate nap time into my schedule at work.
You know what? You should do so. You should freaking do so. We all deserve it.
Yeah.
When I get migraines, if I get like a migraine during work, I take a half hour break. That's my lunchtime, and I lay on the floor and close my eyes.
Dude, I understand that wholeheartedly. My
I don't get
migraines
them
can
very
get,
often, but every once in a while, like it just takes over my entire brain. It's like it
yeah,
hurts. But
it's a struggle, man. Like I get it. It's not fun.
so
By the way,
yes.
Yes.
By the way,
Joe,
Uh-oh. What?
should we be making fun of Jeremy right now for his little video
Oh.
with
Oh.
his dance moves,
We should,
which
man,
were apparently the whole reason he couldn't podcast last week.
because he was making TikTok videos.
I am
This,
more than
Yeah,
happy to show it to the world.
TikTok.
well, you know what? I just gave you your co-host rights, so you can share away as you please right now, sir. Let's throw this. It's
That was
already out.
that
It's already on the
was
internet, so we
made
just throw it up on
when we
YouTube.
would have what that was made when we would have first started. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. I was in bed by 11 o'clock that night.
Huh.
Well, good for you.
Oh my God. All right, let's post this on our Facebook page that we are
I don't know
on.
what being in bed by 11 o'clock is. I think it would have been kind of early last night, though, now that I think about it.
I try. I don't know why. I just don't seem to
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I went to bed
turn.
somewhat earlier last night because A, I was tired, of course. And B, I intended to wake up early this morning to go to Quest to have blood work done. And then I think when I was checking what time they opened, they weren't open today.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was because it's like a day before Easter kind of thing, or because they're just not open Saturdays at the Quest that's closest to me now, but it was disappointing because if I go there Monday morning, they still probably won't have my blood work results when I go to my endocrinologist on Wednesday. But I can't really reschedule that endocrinologist appointment again. I've rescheduled it twice since January when it was originally scheduled for. So yeah,
I see. I see. So,
it's the conundrum of being an adult, apparently.
Pat, what happened with what's the deal with your car, bro?
So when I took it in for an oil change 2 weeks ago, they came in, they told me we found a leak and it was so saturated we can't tell where the leak's coming from. So we want you to bring it back. And I'm like, hard enough taking it to go get an oil change because I had to wait for my sister to have a Saturday off where she could ferry me to and from, or rather from and to the place where I take my car now. But they said, well, what if we could get you a loaner? I said, well, okay, yeah, I could probably do that then. And it's like, all right, well, we don't have anything this week, which was last week. So we'll call you on Monday the 25th, which they did. And of course, I forgot to call him back on Monday the 25th because I was trying to work from home and not being very successful at it because I was feeling so much like shit. I went to the doctor last Friday and came back with a fucking cold. Translation: don't go to your doctor even for a checkup, apparently.
Well,
Anyway, so I called them back and they arranged for me to come in yesterday, drop off the car yesterday. They gave me a loaner. They gave me the Chevy Malibu, and as soon as I got into it, I said, "Fuck me. This car was not built for somebody of my size." The
And
seat
that's
would
the
not go back
mid-size.
very the seat would not go back very far, and the steering wheel would not go up very high. So as I was driving back down
you pull
William
a
Penn
Shaquille
Highway,
O'Neal, rip the seats out.
yeah, so as I was driving back down William Penn Highway, I'm like, go right onto 33 to proceed to work, to the office, or keep going straight and make the left turn on Emmerich and just work from home today. And I was tempted to just go work from home. But I said, no, I work better in the office. I've been out of the office 2 days already this week because I worked from home both Monday and Tuesday. I'm like, no, I gotta get to the goddamn office. So I did, and they called me then and they told me what the problem was. And they were like, yeah, it looks like two of the solenoids are shot and the oil pan's got a crack in it. Now that may not need to be replaced now, but it probably will eventually because the problem is, you could have it leak onto certain things and you could start getting a burning smell. And I'm
Very
like,
true.
I don't really want to deal with that shit. Uh, though I am right now, but they said that'll just be for like the first 25 miles or so. So since I'm driving to Jersey tomorrow, that'll go away fairly quickly, assuming it does go away after that many miles. Um, but I was just like, yeah, okay. I mean, that's fine. I said, but this loaner car just really isn't meant for somebody of my size. And then he's like, well, we could get you another cruise. It'll be older. I said, well, I mean, it's a better fit, I'm sure. So yeah. So I like left my office at about 2:30 yesterday and went back and exchanged out loaner cars. And this was a cruise and it was older than mine. It was very much similar to the way mine looks. It didn't have quite the console. It didn't have a rear camera, and that was fun the first time I started backing up and I was looking for the camera to pop up and I'm like, oh, there's no camera. It's
See,
it's
I
funny
just
how
hit
you
something. I
it's
just
funny how
ran
you
into something.
well, no, it's funny how you used to get to that. I mean, I've had the car for 9 years now. Um, but it's like the funny thing is I don't feel like I always typically use that when I back up. I'm still always like looking anyway, as if I don't trust the camera. They got the blind spots.
Yeah, they
Um,
still have blind spots.
this also doesn't have this cruise also didn't have cruise control, which I found funny. Um,
The cruise doesn't have a cruise.
yeah, at least it had a USB import so I could plug in my iPod since I couldn't do that with the Malibu. The Malibu didn't seem to have that. So yeah. But anyway, so yeah, they fixed everything and I was thinking they weren't going to get it back to me until Monday because I left my office today around 3 o'clock or so, and I got back and I'm like, I just want to lay down for an hour before getting back on to do more work and picking up my grocery order in a little while. And 5 minutes after I get in the door, they call me and they say, yeah, you can come and get it. I'm like, okay. Because the thing of it is that I'm supposed to go, like I said, I'm going to Jersey tomorrow to see Godzilla or I'm sorry, Godzilla X Kong with
Yep.
my dad, and then I'm
Supposed to see that tomorrow as well.
going back to my parents' house for Easter dinner. And I told my mother yesterday, I said, if they don't get my car back to me, I'm not coming tomorrow. I'm not driving this car. That's when I saw I just had the Malibu. I said, there's no chance in hell I'm driving this like 60 miles one way to your house. Um, then even after I got the cruise, I said, I'm not driving this to Jersey tomorrow because it makes a couple noises, which just have me worried that the thing could break down at any minute. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have a fucking loaner car break down on me on Route 31 or 295 in Jersey for Christ's sake. So
Hmm.
so I'm like, so I'm just telling her, I'm like, unless they get my car back to me, I'm not coming tomorrow. She goes, okay. And then so they got my car back to me. And then so I was kind of resigning myself to being home tomorrow, but I was saying, you know what? I would only have to log on to do maybe an hour or two worth of work to feel justified and hit the hours they want me to hit. I'll be able to do some straightening up around the apartment since a certain somebody is coming next week. And just general cleaning that has to be done anyway. And I could just chill and relax. But then, like, no, I'm like, no, if I have my car, I have to go. So,
Yeah.
so I will be, which means that since it's a 12:30 showtime, I'll have to be out of here by 11, and then God only knows when I'll be home. So,
So, with that being mentioned about work,
and I will
when
not
are you
say how
done
much
on
money
Saturday?
and I will not say how much money the goddamn car cost me because it just doesn't even matter anymore. It's just,
When will when will you be done on Saturday next
well, hold
week?
on. When I was picking up the car, then I said to the guy there, because I've had to bring my car in there like 3 times over the last 8 or 9 months, not counting the oil change from 2 weeks ago and not counting the inspection.
Yes.
I've had like 3 separate things happen with it. Um, I told him, I said, now did you do the most important thing to the car? And he goes, what's that? And I go, did you tell the car to stop giving me problems for a year or so? And he
Ye-
just laughed at that. But and of course, it's going to need new tires probably by the end of the year too. So that's the other fun thing, which they
Yeah.
gave me an estimate for last week, which I'm like, yeah, I really don't want to pay that much. So for that, I'll probably rely on my brother-in-law to help me find something cheaper since my brother-in-law works at an advanced auto parts, or is it AutoZone? It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Uh, when will I be done on Saturday? Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
I
here we go.
intend to try to work longer Monday through Thursday at the very least next week, like longer than I even have been so far. I've been kind of doing like 10 hours a day. I'm going to try to push it to 11 hours a day for those 4 days. Um, and then Friday, hopefully, maybe just do 10 again. So to hit 60, I would only have to work, say, 6 hours or so on Saturday. So, I mean, I can be out of my office by like really, frankly, 3 at the latest if I even have to stay that late. I mean, you
Okay.
know, so I mean, it's going to depend more upon when we want to leave. So, you know,
I it it doesn't
and
matter to me.
and from where we want to leave and all that shit because we obviously have to get on the turnpike to go.
See.
And my office is not all that far from the exit to the turnpike, you know.
Hmm.
So, it's off Tillman Street before you get to Route 100. So like if you're going on 22 West, it's like it's this exit that says Coonsville. It's like right after the turnpike
Yes, I know
exit.
that exit very well.
Yeah. Bit of a pain in the ass, especially with that pothole that I ran over, which may have, which I started to wonder now if it might have caused this oil leak and everything. But if it's leaking in 3 places, I don't think running over one bad pothole would have done that. So, um, yeah. So, you guys tell me how you want to handle it since, I'm not the one driving, right? Yeah. So
I
since
got the
I'm
big
not
in
the
vehicle. I will
so so,
drive.
so right. So since I'm not the one driving, I feel like it's not my call to make. You know what I mean?
Understood.
As far as
Now,
when we want to leave, I feel like the person who's driving should be the one to make that call
well,
since
since we're starting our WrestleMania talk, just so everybody knows, we are going to WrestleMania and we will be there. We will do some live streaming from there, and we're going to talk about a lot about WrestleMania, what's coming up, and everything like that. So that's going to be our pretty much our most of our show is hearing Pat bitch about his car, um, and WrestleMania. That's the main point of our show today. Um,
well, better to bitch
but
about a car than something else. I mean, because
yes,
it's understandable to bitch about a car.
yeah. Well, the only question I have, and maybe Joe, you know this off the top of your head, Pat may know this off the top of your head, is when does the show officially start? Is it 7 or is
Seven.
it 8?
It's
Seven.
Okay, that's
seven
the is
o'clock
that the
official start time for
Both
the
nights.
show itself.
and
Yeah.
that's not the pre-show. That's
No.
the
Right,
actual main. Okay,
Main
right,
show starts
so
main show starts at 7.
right,
so then the other question is, gentlemen,
right,
do we want to hit the
right,
shop
right.
Saturday or Sunday?
I'll give a rat's ass. No, I
Because that's going to
doesn't
determine
that
when we want to kind of get down there for the show.
doesn't matter
Because
to me.
We're going to need enough time to hit the shop and be able to get to our seats with our first helping of food.
You know, I'm okay with doing it Saturday. Either day works for me. Saturday's fine.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because I would figure my thoughts were we leave it we leave to get down there between 5 and 6. That should give us enough time to hit the shop, get food, and get to our seats.
Leave up there to get down to the stadium
By
at
5 or 6.
5.
By 5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I don't know. Did you guys go to the shop when we went in New York?
no,
Yeah,
did not.
oh,
Because
I
I
was gonna
will tell
say,
you, depending when we get there, you will be standing in line to get into the shop for almost an hour.
yeah,
So
that
the
wasn't
fir-
very fun.
so the first time we went to New York with Matt, we waited an hour and a half to get in
I'm not waiting that long to get into the shop.
to the shop. Um, and I think the second time I waited like it was probably like more like 45 minutes to an hour in between there because a lot of people hit that up before the main show starts. I mean, you can go to it during the show too, like a lot of people do sometimes, but it all depends. Like if you, it all depends. Like,
So the thing that and since I did not go to the shop, do they sell shirts other places besides the shop, or you do have to go to the shop to get the shirts?
I think they have other stands throughout, but the main like superstore, like they take over the main superstore where they sell all the Eagle shit and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
that will be all cleared out. It'll be all WrestleMania shit all over the place. So that's where you're gonna see more common stuff around the stadium. You're gonna see more of the, you'll see more like common t-shirts and WrestleMania only t-shirts around, but you'll see probably more of some of the exclusive shit in the actual shop.
Yeah. So I'm not. My big thing, gentlemen, is I am not worried about getting like an exclusive like figure or anything like that. I would like to just maybe get a WrestleMania style T-shirt. That's the only thing. And if I can get that at one of the other random stores that they have, I'm good. I don't need to go into the store. Unless it's a short line that we can get in and like pop in and just see some of the cool stuff that they have that's exclusive, then that's fine. But I'm not a big fan of waiting up to an hour for a
Yeah.
store.
Yeah. If you go to the superstore, it's
So
unless the only way you're not gonna wait is if like you're standing in front of that gate like 2 hours before they open the gates to get in the actual stadium and you beeline right over to the superstore. Otherwise you're gonna be waiting for a while.
yeah.
So it all
So
depends. I'm fine with either day, you know. Um, maybe Sunday might be a little bit better. Maybe it depends. I mean, hey, I'll walk around with you, man, and look throughout the random stuff because I'm not really looking for. Because to be honest with you, most of the stuff that you're gonna see there, they're gonna post online like the next day or two anyway.
yeah.
Is what they usually do. But they might have some stuff like Philadelphia themed stuff that they probably might not have on the website that they're gonna have at the event only.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to play that by ear. But I definitely would like to get down there an hour early at the least, regardless of what day we decide that we want to do the store, just because that gives us time to get in, get food, get to our seats, not have to be rushing around. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes when I go to these events, not necessarily WrestleMania, but other events, I feel like I'm rushing to my seat.
I
Well, I
will.
mean, they
I want that
did.
food. I need to see what the food is important to me. I need to have my 3 course meal throughout the show.
I mean, I know it's been a while, and one would hope that they wouldn't repeat the mistake. But I do remember, of course, I think it was the Dallas WrestleMania where they were talking about how like a lot of people were like not seated by the time the main show began.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, hopefully they don't have something like that happen.
Yeah, and I've been looking at the weather. The weather is looking promising. It's maybe some
Yes.
clouds, but no rain in the
The
forecast.
Well, yeah,
rain's the
that's the
only
thing.
thing I care about.
I just
I could
checked the
care less
weather
how cold it is.
forecast. I just checked the weather forecast on my phone here because I thought it was supposed to start getting warmer. But Monday through Thursday up here look pretty miserable. Highs of 49, 47, 45, 47, and almost undoubtedly going to rain again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Um, Saturday right now it's saying a high of 53 with very little chance of rain.
Yeah.
High of 53, partly sunny. Sunday it shows partly sunny and a high of 60 with no chance of rain. Of course, after Sunday, it's going to get up into the upper 60s and low 70s. Couldn't do that a couple days earlier. No.
So
It's
my
a-
suggestion, unless you're a relatively warm person, dress in layers, because by the time we get down there, it's already going to start dropping the temperature, and it's going to be open
Yeah,
air.
it's
I'm
it's
sure the
going to
wind will be
be
blowing through.
it's going to be difficult for me probably. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll figure it
I
out.
got night one, I have a t-shirt. I'm gonna wear my one of my zip up hoodies. And night two, I'll wear my punk shirt and my punk hoodie. And that's a go. Because like listen, look by the time we get out, it's gonna be like in the low 40s or probably the high 30s at that point. So
Maybe even be lower than that. I mean, the lows for those 2 nights were saying like 32, 33. So yeah,
It's
so
going to
it's
be
gonna be
wonderful, as
it's
long
gonna
as
like
be
it's not windy.
bringing the heavy jacket is looking more likely.
Wind, cold is okay to a point as long as there's no wind. It's like when it's cold and windy, it sucks.
yeah.
Well, yeah. Or
Like that was today.
as a joke that Lewis Black once, did. He was like, it's like talking about, weathermen and everything, saying, uh, it's going to be 27 degrees today, but with the wind chill, it'll be -3. Well, then it's -3, asshole. I don't need to know what the weather would be like if the conditions were perfect.
Yeah,
Unless
Very true.
conditions
Very
unless
true.
conditions actually were perfect, I guess. So
yeah, ain't that the truth? Ah,
I
yeah.
saw a tractor
So,
trailer fire this morning.
Oh, that
oh
sounds
well,
spectacular.
yeah. Thanks for
Did
Yeah,
it
telling us about that.
as I was driving on 22,
did it
just
burn a
past the
bridge down?
airport road exit, going up the hill, past our old call center, Joe.
Ooh.
I started seeing smoke in the sky, and I'm like, where the hell is that coming from? And then I saw it start to get thicker, and I went, uh-oh, and especially since I saw cars in front of me starting to brake. And then sure enough, I see this thick black smoke start to billow a little bit more and start to move over to the right. And then sure enough, it was a tractor trailer. And as I passed it, the cab was all the way open already, and it was in flames. I wish I could have snapped a picture, but I went on the WFMZ site and then said, yeah, like the thing caught fire and there was a diesel fuel spill, so they had to close at least one of the lanes. I'm like, well, I'm glad I wasn't running a little bit later this morning. So
Ghost Rider made his presence known that day.
I guess he did. Well, that's what they say about Nick Cage. You never know when he's going to pop up.
So let's get into these let's get into the card because we have two added matches, so we're probably gonna have six tonight. There's 12 matches now. So
Yeah, I'm not thinking they're going to add anything else at this point.
no, no, they should not. They should not, and they better not. There's no reason
They
to.
should, yeah, they definitely shouldn't, but yeah, you never know with them. I mean, well, hold on real quick. Because I'm on the Wikipedia page and well, I lost it. It said something about they still do the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but they're doing that Friday night on SmackDown.
I don't. To be honest with you, if you want to have a pre-show, why don't you just put that in the pre-show? Unless you're just going to have the pre-show for all talking and interviews and stuff like that. That's fine if you're going that route and you're not putting matches on pre-shows. Because to be honest with you, I think it's better not to have matches on pre-shows. Let's concentrate and talk about the matches and the lineups and do segments on that. That's a little bit better. Um,
Yeah,
but
yeah. It says the night before WrestleMania 40 on April 5th, WWE will kick off WrestleMania weekend with a special WrestleMania edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Excuse me, featuring the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Immediately after SmackDown, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony will commence. Well, not immediately after. They have to always, is the way they've done it the last few years. They have to like change the ring setup and everything and all that fun shit. So I don't like the way they do the Hall of Fame ceremony now, especially trying to do it at basically after 10 p.m. Eastern time. After a 2-hour SmackDown show. It's like they should tape it before SmackDown, of course, and there, of course, the
what
argument
they
will probably
really
be,
should
well,
do
then it
is
would be starting too early, and if we don't get it, if we don't have it timed perfectly, then it'll run into SmackDown, and
what they should read. Does that SmackDown really even matter? Just have it be an hour, have the Battle Royal. Battle Royal's done, and then go into the Hall of Fame at 9 o'clock. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that
It's a
would be
fix.
smarter, but
It's a fix. Easy fix.
Yes.
maybe there's something in the contract with Fox which doesn't let them do that. I have no fucking clue, you know.
It could be. So let's run down this card again. Let's just because we have a tag
Let's
teams
run
that are
down this card again.
yes,
Yeah,
we
cardigan.
card again. I'll buy you a cardigan if you want to.
I'd probably look good in a cardigan.
Yes, you
Spectacular.
would. So we have one match that we know is on night one. Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody. I still
Rock and
feel
Roman, tweet, tweet,
tweet.
tweet,
That's
rock
what
and
popped in
Roman,
my head when I
tweet,
said that.
tweet, elite.
I, I still think that Seth is going to take the pinfall and lose. He's gonna take the pin for the Rock and Roman to win that match. I don't
Yes,
know what the
and I'm
odds
just
are
gonna
because I don't like looking at the odds for wrestling matches.
put this out there again. This is a match that doesn't need to be on the card. It's a space filler for no freaking reason, just to put the Rock in a match, which I really don't care about. Fine, you want to put a Rock in a
Well,
match, great, whatever.
I
But
mean, to be
goodness,
Put you
to
the
be
final
fair, this
boss.
is the match that they've built the whole pay-per-view around, and the whole premium live event around, the whole WrestleMania around.
yes, and I get
Um,
that. I know. So,
so
but yes, so Cody, yes, it's got to be stacked against Cody. So my prediction is that yes, Seth takes the pinfall.
Mhm.
And if it's not, if Seth doesn't take the pinfall, then it's Roman pitting Cody to say you can't even beat me in a tag match. You know,
Yeah,
how you gonna beat me
that's the other thing
tomorrow?
I thought about too is Roman pinning Cody. Playing that mental game going into night two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
something I was kind of thinking about. And then
so
we
hopefully
have
that'll be this kickoff match for tomorrow night for Saturday night. Hopefully that'll be the kickoff match. Probably not. Hopefully it's not the
no,
end of the night match.
that'll be the main
that's going
event
to be the main
match.
event,
They
guaranteed
should have
to
the
be the main
Bailey
event.
match to be the main event. I think that's a better main event, even though it's the women's
No,
match.
it's
I think
not.
that's a better.
It is most certainly not.
Don't you give me your sass, bitch.
So we know that's night
Look,
one.
Bailey versus Io Sky is not a match that would have main evented in Florida, as they say. No, I mean, look, no, I just don't think a lot of people really care about that match. I really don't. So,
Yeah, I think more people are involved in the Rhea Becky match than anything.
well, here's the thing with the two women's matches. I mean, just to kind of, I know we're not really sticking to what we said we were going to do here. The Bailey Io match for me, the builds for that has taken too long and involved too
Yes.
many other parts.
Yep.
The
Too many side
Rhea
stories.
Becky, the Rhea Becky match, the build up to that seemed like it was non-existent until maybe last week because they were still doing all the Becky Nia shit, and so Becky and Rhea weren't really opposing each other at all until maybe like a week or so ago. So I don't know. I feel like the build up for both women's matches have been lacking for various reasons. So
Yeah, they have been. So it's been
All right.
hard. It's been hard to follow that stuff.
All right, continue on night one's card.
So
well, the only thing that's announced for night one is the tag
yeah.
match.
So then we have night two that we know is the championship match with Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And then the other match is the other championship match with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, which now we know CM Punk will be at commentary for that match. So let's see what kind of
We
shenanigans
may have
happen.
to stream that just so we can hear Punk's commentary during that match.
Yeah, I mean
It's gonna be
that
interesting.
match I think probably has to kick off night two,
I'm kind of
especially
thinking it will.
especially if there's only six matches per night, which right now would be the thought since there's 12 total matches. Um, you can't
And I
have
think
that
that's
match be
I
too
think
much
that's good.
closer to the Cody Roman match.
I think that's good because 6 matches is plenty because they do enough freaking filler time
And
that
entrances take an hour and a half combined.
Yeah. Whoever Meek Mills is gonna probably perform, all that good jazz. So
Yeah.
hooray. I don't
all
like
that
his
stuff.
rap.
Who?
That big of a fan of him either.
Who?
Meek Mills.
Meek Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that his I don't want to say his claim to fame, but the thing that kind of brought him to the light was not a great thing. He was locked up. I don't remember for what. there was a big Free Meek Mills thing that went on in Philadelphia for a very long time,
Yeah.
and that kind of like projected his rap career. Not that he might have not got there anyways, but that kind of like catapulted his
Trailed it a little
rap
bit.
career.
Yeah. Got up there a little quicker.
Yeah,
So
see,
here,
I just have my issues with any time they get rappers involved with wrestling, especially because right now they're reliving the war rewatch. We're into July of 1999, and we're in the thick of the No Limit Soldiers versus West Texas Rednecks feud in WCW. And
oh God.
the feud that so spectacularly backfired on them because WCW's fan base started cheering the Rednecks because they agreed with the rap is crap sentiment. And because, quite frankly, Master P and all the No Limit Soldier shit got old real fast, especially when they were doing this hooty hoo catch, try to like battle cry thing, which it was like every time Ray does it at the top of his lungs in a high pitched voice, I'm like, shut up, you sound fucking stupid. So,
Uh, so
all
the other
right, sorry
matches,
for the sidebar again.
all right. So the other matches, of course, Io versus Bailey, and then Rhea versus Becky, and then for the Intercontinental, Gunther versus Sami Zayn, which I think is going to be an interesting match. I still
I
think
think,
Gunther's going to win. If Sammy wins that match, I'm going to be totally surprised,
and I
honestly.
think that's a match that's got to go no matter where it is. You know, day one, day two. I think that's got to be the match that falls in the middle, like
It probably will be,
either
or
match three or
towards like,
four.
yeah, I'm gonna say match maybe like 4.
I could see them opening night one with that match, though.
They could
Though
do
when
that
you
too.
come right
Yeah,
down to it, the actually though when you come right down to it, the best match for them to open night one with is the stupid match that we'll get to in a second because of the number of participants and shenanigans involved.
what, the one that was just recently announced, or the other crazy tag team match?
No, the one that was recently finalized.
Oh, the LWO versus
No. The 6 team ladder match.
oh, that's what I meant to say. The tag thing. Yeah, the six
That
tag
match
Right.
team
doesn't
ladder
even
match.
show on WWE's website right now.
And I don't think they
Oh,
have the full
well, I
list on
mean,
their website. Yeah, so
yeah,
the other match is
I'm looking at Wikipedia for the match list, so yeah.
yeah, so the next match is the ladder match tag team 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. So we
Six
got
pack tag team ladder clusterfuck match.
yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be. So let's see. We have Judgment Day, of course, Finn and Damien, DIY, Gargano and Champa, The Awesome Truth, Miz and R Truth, The New Day, okay, A Town, Down Under. I think that's funny. Theory and Waller, New Catch Republic. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. I know people don't like them. Pete Dunne is I've Pete Dunne I'm very up and down with, but I do like Tyler Bate. Um, I just don't know what the outcome. So there's 2 things with this match. I agree with Pat. This could be an opening match for night one because the sidebar to this is if the Judgment Day don't win, is there a chance Damian Priest tries to cash in at some point in night one or night two? Like the Money in Bank's still in play. He still has a while to use it even after WrestleMania. But at the same point, could they pull something off where he tries to use it or cash it in on night one or night two? Well, it'd probably be night two. I'm sorry, because both matches are
Well,
on night.
it would definitely be night two,
I don't
just
know.
because of the
A little,
structures there.
yeah, I was a little off on that one. But that's a little side thing. To be honest with you, I really don't care who wins this match. This match is going to be all over the place. I understand why they have some tag teams in there. I know some people are upset that they didn't give other tag teams a chance, but it's a ladder match and they're going to be doing some crazy shit. And I understand why they have some of these guys in here because they have done
Yeah, I mean,
crazy shit in the past.
it's somebody of course said, I don't want New Day to be in the match. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get that, but New Day has name value. The Creed brothers do not, just one example
Reliability
of
too.
that. So
It's trust.
yeah,
Stuff like that.
yeah, it definitely is. But for
Wait, and I'm
15
sorry,
po
they're not going to throw, and no offense to the Creed brothers, but they're not going to throw an NXT team in that match.
well,
No.
they're not really an NXT team anymore.
They're
more
on
or
the
less
main.
on the Raw roster
They're
now.
on the
So
they're on the Raw roster, but still, it's just
yeah,
kind
But
of
not that long. It's not like they've been up there for, half a
no,
year.
no, yeah. But let me ask you this though: for 15 points, which of these four team names in
For
this
15, ooh,
match?
15 points, Joe.
y- Yes, which of these four team names in this match is the dumbest? DIY, The Awesome Truth, A Town Down Under, or New Catch Republic?
New Catch Republic.
Okay, Joe, do you have a guess?
DIY.
15 points to Jeremy.
Yeah.
As
Hey,
bad
to
as
be there.
those other three, as bad as those other three team names, I mean, I've still never really understood what DI was. Is it supposed to mean do? It's supposed to mean do it yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, they're a team, so how are they doing it themselves?
I know.
How are they doing it yourself? You know, singular. Anyway, awesome truth. I mean, yeah, it's just dumb. A Town Down Under. Yep, it's just dumb. New Catch Republic. It's dumb and it's trying to be something and it's nothing. It's literally just words thrown together.
It kind of is.
So
But
yeah. Anyway,
then we have good old LA Knight versus AJ Styles, which I feel
The
that
match
match.
between the initials for the first name. It's the
I
initials first name
know,
match.
I know. I feel
LAAJ. LAAJ? AJLA. LAAJ sounds better.
I feel
I think LA Knight's got to win that match.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people already wondered that like he slowed down quite a bit. And it's like, well, you know, he had to start taking the back seat to, you know, the title picture, you know. So what else were they supposed to do with him right now? I mean, when you put your fucking US championship on a part timer, it's like what the hell else was LA Knight supposed to do?
Yeah.
So
Then we have Jay versus Jimmy, which I'm excited. I want to see that match. That's the match I want to
Yes,
see.
I think that'd
yeah,
actually be a really good match.
Yeah.
you know, it's funny. Cornette and his co-host seem to think that there's no real passion to see that match, and I'm like, I
Really?
really disagree with that because, yeah, I guess you can say, well, they've always been secondary pieces in the ongoing Bloodline saga, and I mean that's true, but when they split, when they finally did do the split, it was like the well, it wasn't really like the Edge and Christian split. It was like the Hardy Boys first split in like
Mm,
2002. We never got a Matt versus Jeff match then. We never have gotten a Jay versus Jimmy match. So they were obviously saying we're going to save that for WrestleMania, so it's special. So
yeah.
I really disagree with them on that one. I think that people will definitely be into that match.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people will go crazy for that match. It's gonna be a good match. Then we have
Now, now the key, of course, is to make sure that they don't reunite them within the calendar year,
oh,
which they almost certainly will.
probably at some point.
Yeah,
Depending on the bloodline storyline goes into summer. And then we
yeah,
have the next match. We have Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens in the triple threat match for the US
yeah.
title.
I I I don't really know what they're going to do with that match. I sense that they don't want to take the title off Logan Paul yet. Problem is, again, is like how consistently is he going to be there? You know, it's like I don't
Yep.
think they ever needed to put the title on Logan Paul. So
It's for star power and social media stuff, really.
I know, but it's like the show's moving from Fox to USA in the fall or whenever the hell it is. So you're going to have less viewers for it anyway, just be the very nature of broadcast versus cable, which does still apply even in this day where TV ratings don't really mean that much.
Still apply.
Yeah, it does.
So then the next match, the
Agreed.
two new matches we had, LWO, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and his son Dirty Dom.
Now,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know. I just maybe a little surprised Dragon Lee's the one that was chosen, but I don't know. I to be honest with you, I really don't care who wins this match. I'm not for or against. Sometimes I think for a little bit of me wants to see Dom win this match. Dom and Escobar to win this match. I don't know why. Um,
Well, yeah, there's a couple things for me with this match. It feels very random, all right? in the sense that why is Dom teaming with Santos? Yes, they both have beef with Ray, but and maybe they figure Santos will be better out there than JD McPuffin stuff. Um, because obviously Dom can't team with Finn or Damian for this match since they're otherwise obligated.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I don't understand why Dragon Lee is the guy from the LWO. I mean, is something wrong with Carlito?
Yeah, I
I
was
mean,
expecting
I would
Carlito.
have rather Carlito be in the match, to be honest. But the other thing too is like, once again, we have to have a Ray versus Dominic match.
Yeah, because
I
we've never got it.
thought WrestleMania would be the time to do that. Now, if they said, well, we got too many other like really marquee matches at this Mania, that's fine. But I thought Ray said he wasn't going to do this past his 50th birthday, and he turns 50 at the end of this year. So, unless he's changed his mind about that, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I look at it like this,
Maybe
and we
SummerSlam.
know that WWE's notorious
Maybe.
for this. Is they are just trying to put as many people on a card as they possibly can. So why not load
Yes,
up on tag team matches? And
yeah,
this is just
that,
another way to get.
mhm.
Once again, don't know why Dragon Lee, but Santos Escobar on there. Because people
Well,
love to hate him right now.
yeah, I mean, this match at least still have a point because of the issues Ray has had ongoing with Dominic, and obviously everything that happened between Ray and Santos, which is going back
Yes.
several months now. I figure that the best thought I can come up as to why Dragon Lee is in the match is because he'll do something cool.
Yeah.
He'll do some high spot, AEW-esque shit. So,
I mean,
oh,
the
did I
thing
say
about it
that?
is
Oh, I didn't mean to say that.
out of these
Liar.
tw- out of these 12 matches, 5 of them are non-singles matches
Yeah, and
or
like Jeremy
tag
said,
teams or
that
tag
feels like it's
matches in a triple threat.
yeah, I mean like Jeremy said, unfortunately it feels like that's kind of become the norm with WrestleMania, going back a while now.
Yeah.
I mean that's the funny thing. If you look at say like WrestleMania's, I'll say like 2 through 7, they were definitely trying to have like everybody on the roster have a match, which led to stuff like Coco Beware versus Butch Reed, I think, at WrestleMania 3. And like, I mean, so much of WrestleMania 4 was taken up by the title tournament, so that doesn't apply so much. But like WrestleMania 5, I think you had Hacksaw Jim Duggan wrestle Bad News Brown. And WrestleMania 6, I think it was something like Rick Rude versus Jimmy Snuka. And WrestleMania 7, you had Texas Tornado against Dino Bravo. So it's like matches that have like no purpose, no heat, other than these are solid, reliable mid carders, and we want them on the card. They deserve to be on the card. Blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. And
And,
then
well,
they stopped doing that for several years, and then they kind of went back to it. But the way they did it was with multi-person matches, not just tag matches. Like, do you remember the card for WrestleMania 2000, or AKA WrestleMania 16?
No.
Okay, I got to go through this real quick because you'll see something very, very, very funny about it. So WrestleMania 2000, also known as, damn my mouse, also known as the WrestleMania that missed both Austin and Undertaker, who were both out with injuries at the time. This was the card top to bottom, from start to finish. The Godfather and D'Lo Brown versus Big Boss Man and Bill Buchanan. A hardcore battle royal where it was just basically um it was 15 minutes long, and it was just like then the title changed hands kind of thing. So you had Taz, Crash Holly, Viscera, Funaki, the Mean Street Posse, Dickheads, the Headbangers, Hardcore Holly, the Acolytes, Taka, and I think that was it. Yeah. So everybody who didn't otherwise occupy. You had the team of Head Cheese, which was the always entertaining Al Snow and Steve Blackman combo, against the TNA combo of tits and ass. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Test and Albert, not Trish's best attributes, since Trish was managing TNA at the time. Yeah, I wonder why they called them TNA with Trish as their manager. What were they trying to tell us? Anyway,
I don't know.
uh, Yeah, then it was the triangle ladder match for the tag team belts as the Dudley Boys, who were the champions, defended against the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian. Now, I've still never watched that match. I don't remember if tables and chairs got involved, but that was not a TLC match. It was just a triangle ladder match. Then you had the cat fight between Terry Runnels with the Fabulous Moolah in her corner versus the cat with Mae Young in her corner and special referee Val Venus.
Oh yes.
You
Oh,
had
Jesus.
China and Too Cool against the Radicals team of Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko, and Eddie Guerrero. You had the two-fall triple threat match for the Intercontinental and European titles, which were both held by Kurt Angle. And of course, he was defending against Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho. There was a tag team match of Kane and Rikishi versus the DX team of X-Pac and Road Dogg. Billy Gunn was also out with an injury at this point. And then the main event was the Fatal Four-Way Elimination match, the infamous a McMahon in every corner match. Triple
Oh,
H with
God.
Stephanie defending against The Rock with Vince, Mick Foley with Linda, and Big Show with Shane. And of course, Vince turned on The Rock at the end of the match, and for the first time ever, a heel walked out of WrestleMania as the WWF champion. But I know that was a lot, but
That
if
was
you
9 out of
remember,
10 matches were multi-person matches. I was
well,
keeping count.
it was 9 matches total, but yes,
Or sorry, eight out of nine. Yes,
all but one were multi-person matches of some kind. And the
a
one
lot
match
tag
that was,
team.
yeah, the one match that was not a multi-person match was Terry Runnels and the Cat, which cannot be taken seriously as a match because one, they were both non-wrestlers, and two, it was even billed as a cat fight,
Yes,
Hmm.
which somehow was allowed to last 2.5 minutes.
yes, I remember that. I remember the build up to that because Val Venus was like excited to be the guest, the special
Yeah,
referee.
I remember there were GTV segments where both Kat and Terry came in to be all like seductive with him, and it was implied that he probably slept with both of them. And then of course, and then of course, and then of course Mae Young came in to try to do the same thing, and of course Val, chased her away as fast as he could. So yeah, I've still never actually watched that WrestleMania at all, I think. So one of these days I'll get around to it. But anyway, yeah, there is always that sense of trying to get everybody they can on the card. And of course, in this era, it's pretty much impossible because of the size of the roster, which is why I don't have any problem with them doing like the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And quite frankly, if they did that as an actual true pre-show match, um, that would really be fine with me. But they're, like I said, they're doing it on SmackDown. Because
As
here's
long
the
as it's
thing, and
fine with you, it should be fine with everybody.
that is correct. Because I am very homogenized, as somebody was accusing me of being earlier today when I was saying about how AEW sucks. Um, because here's the thing, with these 12 matches, I would have to think that all 12 of these matches will be on the main card. Like there won't actually be a pre-show match either night.
I don't think so.
So, I
We
mean,
still have one match to talk about, though,
if they add
or to mention.
anything else on, I mean, okay, but I don't see that happening. But yes, there is one match we did not mention.
Yes, the Damage Control versus Bianca, Naomi, and the new arrival of Jade Cargill.
Damage Control Alt Delete.
So, the interesting thing about this match was if
Mash?
I said match,
Sound like you said Mash.
no, mash your face.
Suicide is painless.
I
It
was,
comes from
I
different.
was, I was thinking about
Oh my
this,
God.
and if Io was not wrestling already, essentially this would be two. Like I was just like, why? Like, what
I'm
is
trying to figure out why
WWE
the
thinking with
tag
some of
belts
these?
aren't up for grabs, to be honest with you. And they made it decide to make this
Yes,
a
I
six man tag just because they want to get Jade on there.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
but
exactly why.
it's just funny. Like they're putting like this group of women together because they all have the same skin color or they're the same ethnicity, and they're
Uh,
putting all
I
like if
I
Io was part of Damage.
I don't think so.
I
I
just
see what
find
you're
it
saying.
ironic.
You're
The
saying that if
irony.
Io was in the match instead of like
Yes.
Dakota, it could have been like an all
Yes.
African American team against an all
Yes.
Japanese woman team. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, I don't think that was like the motivation.
No, I'm sure it was not,
Um,
but I just find the irony behind that would have been very interesting.
it would have been. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, it is still kind of interesting. I mean, I know Dakota's from New Zealand, I believe. I think
Yeah.
she might have some other like alternate heritage. So I'm not sure what Dakota's like ethnicity is in that sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting that you have a match that's pretty much all minority women. That is kind of interesting because I don't know that that's ever really happened before that I can think of, even in a one-on-one match. I mean, there
Mm.
probably has been, and I'm probably just forgetting it. It's pretty obvious, but I really can't think of what it would be. Did Sasha ever
Yeah.
wrestle Bailey at a big show? I really don't remember. So,
Wait,
yeah.
what was the comment again about what?
If there was ever even like a single women's match where it was like two non-white women in the show, like
Yeah,
unless like, it was like Sasha, unless it involved only Sasha, Bailey, or Nia, I really can't think of possibility of what it could have been.
didn't Sasha wrestle Bianca?
Oh, yes, I think
For
Yeah,
the
you're right.
title? Was it a title match though?
I think
Yeah,
so. Yeah,
I think so. Hold on,
yeah.
let me see if I can.
So
No, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't last year. I know it wasn't last year because Sasha was gone already.
yeah, it would have had to been at least 2 years ago for WrestleManias.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the results here. Uh, all these WrestleManias in the last several years are just blended together for me. So it wasn't 2 years ago because that's when Bianca beat Becky.
Probably wasn't even at a WrestleMania.
No, I'm almost positive it was
Yeah, I think it was.
since Joe said it. And yeah, I love how I was saying like, oh no, it couldn't happen unless it involved one of Sasha, Bailey, or Nia. Totally forgetting Bianca's been there. Naomi too, but yeah, the main event of night one of WrestleMania 37, 3 years ago, aka the first WrestleMania after the pandemic, where fans were allowed back in. The main event of the first night was the SmackDown Women's title match. Sasha defended unsuccessfully against Bianca.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
And I only and just for anybody who's wondering why I find these things ironic is because the history with WWE and pushing certain types of people in on their cards and in their organization and doing ridiculous gimmicks with certain types of people within their organization has always been kind of their forte. Now we know that a certain person of Vince McMahon is no longer there, so that's not necessarily happening on
Correct.
purpose anymore. It's more of a kind of an accidental thing, just because this is who they want on the card or who they want in matches. So, um,
Well, I mean, you could just come right out and say it. WWE has, of course, been accused of varying degrees of racism throughout its existence.
oh
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
some are not justified, in my opinion. Some are very much justified. It depends upon the individual situation and what happened. Um, like Akeem, the African Dream, was not trying to be racially insensitive since it was a white guy doing this. That was another rib on Dusty Rhodes.
yes.
Um, and now, of course, I had the prime example of one that was racist, and now I can't remember what the hell it was. And no, I wasn't thinking when Roddy Piper painted half of his body black for his WrestleMania 6 match with Bad News Brown.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I just totally forgot what I thought of, but
The most
yeah,
recent
shit.
one that I can think of, and maybe they weren't trying to be racist, but it definitely would have been when they made Apollo Creed from Africa all of a sudden and gave him that terrible accent and stuff like that, and had him
Apollo
come down with a spear and a freaking shield.
Apollo Crews, you mean?
Yeah, Apollo Crews, not Apollo Creed. Apollo Crews, yes. I was like,
Yeah.
well, if that ain't the most racist stereotype of a black man ever,
See, now that happened, of course, when Vince was still very much in charge.
yes,
In
absolutely
Vince's
did.
mind, in Vince's mind, I'm sure he did not think of that as racist, and it
Of
was
course he
just
didn't.
like, and it was just his way to try to give Apollo Crews like a personality and everything. Because if there's one thing you can say about Apollo Crews and his time in this company, he's never
God,
really had much of a personality.
No,
He's never
God,
really
it's
had much of a
terrible.
character. So of course he defaults back to, let's say he's from Africa and make him an African warrior prince. Because in Vince's mind, that's a positive thing because he's saying that he's like, like a prince or a chieftain or however they fucking build it. I don't really goddamn remember or care to remember. And of course, his staff always being afraid to say no to him. There's probably people in that room who probably said, "Yeah, that's racist," but they weren't going to say that to Vince.
Yes.
Uh,
Of course.
I'm thinking of one corpulent talk show host in particular. But then again, I'm not sure if he was back with the company when they first did that with Apollo Crews. But if he found it racist, he would never say that to Vince. So,
No,
but
not at
he
all.
loves you.
Yeah. Nothing like good old Tom Pritchard.
What do you
Bruce Pritchard.
Bruce Pritchard, sorry.
what
Yeah,
do
Tom's
you
brother.
what
Yes.
do you think will be the matches? What do you think could be the other match? What do you think could be the matches for night one?
I think both women's title matches have to be on night one. And now, of course, that I've said that, I think we had this discussion, you and me, maybe last week, saying having both women's title matches on night one because both men's title matches are on night two and nobody will care. The problem is nobody may still care about the women's title matches when you've got the tag team main event. So I still have to think you still have to do both of those women's title matches on night one, though.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with that one. And then like I'm trying to figure out they'll
So you
probably
throw the women's tag team match in there and make it more important than one of the title matches on and put it on night two. I shouldn't say more important, but it seems like there
In
is more of an
night
emphasis on that
night
match.
night one, night two placement doesn't really matter in terms of importance, I don't think.
only the first
Uh,
and last match.
yeah, yeah.
Then so why so let's do this. Maybe, just maybe, they open up with one of the women's championship matches. Let's say Bailey Io Sky, because that one
Um,
out of the two is not necessarily. It's been built for so long, and both of them are pretty good wrestlers, so they could probably open up a show and have a good build if they can get the crowd to do it. That's always the problem with the
yeah.
women's matches. I feel
Well,
like the crowd getting into the match and getting behind the match.
Yeah.
well, here's the thing. I think the crowd will definitely get into Bailey winning the title. I feel like a lot of people feel like it's her time to be champion again because she
Yeah.
really has been for I don't even know how long it's been now since she last was an individual champion. Um, and so I think the crowd will get hot for that when it happens. And you're much more likely to see a title change from the heel to the face in that match than you are in the Rhea Becky match, in my view.
I agree with that.
So yeah, I could see Bailey Io being the kickoff match for the whole event. And that is the match, of course, where I will go get food. No,
We'll already have our first course.
Course one
no,
will
I
already
was
be
I was
in our
thinking of a certain
stomachs.
someone in Ohio, of course, but um, I don't remember what match he told me he's definitely not going to be watching, but I can't remember. It wasn't that one though, so
It's Becky
because
one.
he likes Bailey. At least I don't think it was that one.
It's the Becky
It'll
one.
probably be the women's tag team
It was
match.
it was probably the well he could for that match he could very well for the Becky Rhea match he could for the Usos match. Um, yeah,
Come on now. He likes to pick the women's matches. It's gonna be Becky and Rhea. Or the tag match with Jade in it. I wouldn't be surprised if the night one opens up with that title match. Because to be honest with you, if you have both men's title matches on night two, you definitely want to put both women's matches on title matches on night one. Start it off with that one, and then
yeah. I mean,
Rhea
Then
and
go to
Becky
the
could be
unfortunately,
crap
in the
tag team match, the latter spectacular match.
well,
and
that's the
then
thing. With the way that this card
Rhea
is
and Becky could be
structured,
match four.
yeah. With the way this card is structured, unfortunately, you're going to have some matches get. I don't want to say de-emphasized, but that's kind of the way it's going to work. So, like the Gunther Sami Zayn, for example, I think is definitely going to get just lost in the shuffle kind of thing.
What the Usos
Uh,
match, Uso and Uso. What night should that be on?
Night one.
Should that be a night one or a night two?
That is going to depend on the outcome of the tag match, which obviously we don't know. So here's my thought. If
Maybe it
the
will be night two.
if the Uso versus Uso match happens on night one, to me that's going to be a signal that Rock and Roman tweet tweet tweet
Rock and roll, man. Make a song of that.
will win the match, because then obviously Jimmy at the very least would have to get involved in the title match on night two. So I just think it's more likely they won't have him try to pull some kind of double duty, working a match and then being involved in another on the same night. Though they could, because Lord knows they've done that plenty of times.
Oh
But for
yeah.
some reason, I just think that, yeah, that's my thought. I mean, I could be totally wrong, because that's the kind of, like I said, that's the kind of thing I could talk myself into either way, basically. So who knows?
Yeah,
The
maybe
funny
other
thing
match
is he
too.
has that shirt that says yeet on it.
Oh,
Yeet, no yeet.
yeet
Yeah,
and
and
no
he
yeet. It's
uses
gonna be
yeet as
awesome.
like a phrase of yes, or that's like yeets one is a very old terminology in the terminology of like cool things to say, and two, like all the videos that my son watches, yeet is used as a way to throw things. They're like yeet, and they just throw the shit. So the
We
fact that he's
kidnapped a
using
vampire.
it, so he's using it in a very interesting way, and I think it's funny that he like is using that. Like, I feel like that word is probably like a couple years old now. Gotta
Well,
bring
I
it
Back
mean,
back.
to relevance.
to be fair, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying something else about it. Never mind. Anyway, the reason I just said we kidnapped a vampire is because I got the NCAA game on right now, and they've shown they showed the trailer, I think, twice in the last two commercial breaks for that movie Abigail that comes out in a few weeks.
Oh, the girl vampire and traps all the people in her house.
Yeah,
I've seen that. Very interesting.
it's supposedly supposed to be some kind of a sort of takeoff on the on Dracula's daughter, which was made back in the mid 30s, the height of the Universal classic monsters. Of
Hmm.
course, the Dracula's daughter, and that was a full-grown woman and everything. So I mean, yeah, it's only very loosely based, obviously. So
Yeah, absolutely. I don't.
I'm just assuming it ends with all of them.
Uh, maybe except for one. We'll see. I
Yeah,
might be
so
interested. That movie kind of interests me because I like
that
it.
actually might be, yeah.
Oh,
As much as I don't, as I generally stay away from horror films, when that comes on to streaming, I might actually check that one out.
And
yeah.
what the hell's this movie? Why have I not heard of
I
that?
like
It's
vampires,
called
so
it's called Abigail.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, there's no real big stars in it either. So, yeah, because the last thing you do with a star is put them in a horror movie, because there's a reason why you see so many horror movies made. They're generally cheap, especially, and they don't necessitate you needing to cast big stars, which
No.
also keeps the cost down.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably why
absolutely.
we get so many second-rate horror movies. And speaking of second-rate horror movies, this isn't even a second-rate horror movie. They haven't even released the sequel to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but they've apparently already greenlit a third.
Yeah, yeah, they did.
And I'm just like, that's just tremendous. Horrible Schlock will apparently sell.
Yep.
Because I believe Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey swept most of the Razzie awards this year. So, and that's fine with me, because I, for one, find it pretty disgusting that they decide, oh, these characters have become public domain. Let's make bad horror movies about them.
I know. So
Because I think
it's so random.
I think somebody's doing some kind of Steamboat Willie horror movie.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, just I can't wait for when
what?
Donald Duck becomes public domain.
Yeah. Yep. Steamboat Willie horror movie. I don't fucking get it.
I just saw that they were doing another movie.
I
Like
think it
I, what
reveals
the hell
I think it reveals two things. One, people watch anything, and two, people have sick fucking minds. I'm
Um,
sorry, I don't want to see beloved childhood characters become murderous psychopaths. I don't.
well,
I
they
don't get the
just
appeal of that.
was
There's
it?
another one from a couple years ago that did like the Grinch as like a slasher killer.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
They of course couldn't call him the Grinch, so he's called like the Mean One or something like that because you know the song "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." And I remember seeing the trailers for it. And I said, "Wow, this looks like shit." And then one of the women in the movie looked a hell of a lot like Marina Shafir, who of course you know is just so awful at trying to be a wrestler that I was just
Um,
flabbergasted.
there's a movie that they're redoing. Why did I can't think of it now. It's coming out and it's later this year.
Well, they're
What,
doing
the
another
Wizard of
Omen.
Oz movie?
They're doing another Omen movie, which you know
No,
is
it's not a
okay.
horror movie.
Oh,
Can't think of it. Damn
are you
it.
talking about the screen adaptation of Wicked?
No. Damn it.
Which I gotta say that Super Bowl spot really made me go, I don't want to watch that.
I just saw.
I'm also somebody who's not amused by those all like, oh, let's make the villain of this classic story the hero stories.
Oh,
I don't really like those much either.
yeah. I'm not a fan either.
I mean, it's like the Wicked Witch of the West is one of the most irredeemable villains in all of movie history. So let's create a project where she's just misunderstood.
Let's just call them bangers.
It's like
It's a
people,
banger.
the plot of the story was that she was after this girl for a pair of slippers. It wasn't Dorothy's fault that the house was dropped on her equally horrible sister. It's like, you know, along those plot lines, I can't wait until we do the Alien movie where the xenomorph is revealed to be, a sophisticated society builder, and it was just all these humans who interfered with that process, and so they had to die.
I call that an alien banger.
That being said, the trailer for the teaser for that Alien Romulus movie that's coming out in I think August looks
Mm.
interesting. So.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I mean, it looks like the original Alien in a lot of ways, but it's supposed to be set in between Alien and Alien, so I'm kind of curious to see how they do that.
Yeah, same here. I have questions about that one.
Yeah, I mean, and
Definitely
there's a
so.
lot of different ways they can explain that, of course. So I'm very interested to see how they do.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Is Jeremy still trying to find this movie that he was
Yes, I'm
thinking
still
of?
trying to find this stupid fucking movie.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
no,
Pissing
no,
me
that's fine.
off.
I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I wasn't like holding us up or something, or
No,
just
you're definitely not.
fill
No.
or just filling time, which is pretty much what I'm doing now.
No, I did see that there. I did see Beetlejuice is coming. The second Beetlejuice is coming out. They did redo Mean Girls, which was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, because it was like is
it's Mean Girls.
They did it as
See,
a
at first I was trying
musical.
to figure out if that was supposed to be like a sequel, and then I was like, oh no, it's the adaptation of the musical that's based on the movie. So the movie based on the musical based on the movie.
Yep.
Yes, it was terrible.
They've done that some with something else. I can't remember what. Oh, the color purple.
Yes, I don't know why they redid it.
They did a movie version of the musical version of the movie, and I watched it a few weeks ago before the Oscars. It wasn't bad, but it's also very much like most movie musicals, where it fits into the why does this exist
Yeah.
category.
Because they're able to do it.
Yeah. But like none of the songs were really standouts, you know? So it was like I'm not saying the story didn't lend itself to being a musical, but I'm saying that the story is also strong enough to work without music, and the music to me didn't add enough to it. Uh, that was still the most memorable song is the song that was in the original movie. So, you know,
I get it. I get it.
yeah.
All right, we got off topic here. We're supposed to talk on
Now,
wrestling. We're going on movies and horror movies and chick
Wonka, for
flicks. And
example, being a straight musical essentially worked because, it did. So,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
they very smartly recycled the song from the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So,
Of course they did. Which I did watch that Wonka. We watched the Wonka movie the other day. I actually liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
It was
It filled me up with the right amount of nostalgia for the original film and everything, and I still thought it had a strong enough story on its own. So,
yeah, no, it did. Absolutely.
and Timothy Chalamet's finally starting to win me over. So, a couple of years ago, I was like, I don't know if I buy the concept of Timothy Chalamet.
No, I think he's good. He definitely is.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's done some different things, and obviously Dune. So,
All right. So let's get
just
back
wish
to
I
this.
just I just wish he'd cut his hair.
No, he doesn't need to cut his hair. You people in your short hair shit.
He just doesn't need it to be that curly long. That's all I'm saying.
That's jealousy I hear coming out of your voice.
No, I've never wanted curly hair. I have wanted long hair at times, but yeah, when I first got on my Beatles fix, I said, I'm gonna grow my hair like 1968 John Lennon. Yeah, my hair never grew long. It only grew.
He only grew up. Uh, so the match I want to talk about is the Damage Control versus Bianca, Naomi, and Jade. So I want to know what you guys think about them throwing Jade on their WrestleMania card, like
I
legitimately.
I get why they're doing it. I still wonder if she's really truly ready or not. And that's not meant to be like disparaging to her. I mean, there was the report. There was a report a few months ago. I don't remember exactly when it was. It was definitely before the Rumble, where it said that she doesn't remember everything. And I don't know if they meant like period or within the confines of one match, like what she was told to go out and do. But as Dr. Evil once said, either way, it's bad.
Yeah, I
If she
think her.
can't if she can't remember like things that she's been trained, or if she can't remember like what she was told to go out and do in this course of one match, yeah, that doesn't bode well. So, I
I think it's
mean,
more of a she struggles to remember what's next during a match because you saw a lot of that in AEW. I just think
yeah,
the other thing with the other problem in AEW with her was is she was calling matches and
and she should
I
have never been doing it.
correct. Like why
But they
is
kept
she
matching. Well, because they kept matching her up against people who had no business calling matches either.
yeah, and I mean, why are they having her Um, why is she calling matches when she's going against other females within AEW that are also green? That just doesn't make sense. You know,
They were falling. I think that was Tony falling back on the old trope of the champion calls the match,
yeah, and
which has
unfortunately
existed
she might be the
since.
champion, but she's not experienced enough to be calling matches, especially if she's missing stuff and you can see their spots that are not right or they're missed or whatever the case may be. I think she's in a
Yeah,
better place now because she won't have to call. She should not be calling matches, period.
right,
She's in
right.
WWE. There's women that are in there that are more 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 God, I can't talk. She's around more veteran females, and these
Hmm.
females are able to call matches. So she's definitely going to be better off in regards to that. So that's where she shouldn't be calling any matches whatsoever, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
So, I mean, my hope, of
She
course, is
needs to
that they match
learn
her up.
by not calling matches first.
Right. My hope is that she picks up stuff from working with more experienced, better wrestlers. And if you are an AEW fan and you think that the quality of the AEW women's roster is better than the quality of the WWE women's roster, I hate to tell you this, but you're an idiot. Um,
Yeah, it's just not the
so
case.
yeah,
It's
it's
gotten better,
demonstrably
but still not great.
it's demonstrably not the case. So I know AEW is missing a couple of women who are better, but Britt Baker is also not as good as you think she is. She's really not. Um, so there's some women in AEW have potential, but the problem is they're all working against each other, so I don't see how they're ever going to get better. I mean, I'm hoping that Sasha could actually elevate some of those women, but I don't know if that's what they're going to do with her. And again, I don't trust the way that idiot books. So, like, I saw something on Facebook today. It was a picture of Solo Sikoa, and I guess they were using Samoa Joe as their template, but it said like, would his booking be better in AEW? And I think I just commented, Nobody's
No.
booking
No.
is better in AEW because of the person doing the booking. So
Yeah, Solo would not be better off in AEW. He's right where he needs to be.
What makes
no,
Joe better in AEW is Joe can be himself. Like he's able just to be who he feels he is.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to do more than
yeah,
just
yeah,
be a big brooding guy. Like
yeah,
WWE just can't be that. He had to be more than that, and that didn't. I mean, he did get injured a lot too while he was in WWE, but you know.
yeah. I mean, Samoa Joe is unfortunately one guy. I would say he's always been better outside of WWE, just because
But as far as that match goes, I'm not. I know you would have liked them to wait on Jade Cargill, give her a little bit more time to train and that, and I agree with that point. I also think they can protect her by putting her in this triple in this six-man tag or six-person tag.
Yeah, they
six
definitely
man
will be able
tag.
to.
So they'll be able to protect her, have her come in and do, a couple moves, maybe get beat up a little bit, and then tag out, or do a tag team move and come
She'll
out.
probably be in the ring at least twice for some spots, and we'll see maybe a third
I
time.
mean, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if she only gets in the match at the end and then wins the match. But
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
see. We'll
expecting
see.
her to be the one who gets the pin, to be honest.
I mean, I
Yeah,
from what I saw on SmackDown when she came down, to the ring, it was funny because
I
my son was watching at the same time.
Oh, the outfit she had?
He goes,
I was gonna
"Dad,
yeah, I was gonna say
is she
she wore
wearing
two
any
different
underwear?" I
outfits
said,
too.
"Son, I don't know." I said, "I think so, but I don't
She
know."
wearing any underwear? Probably not.
I was gonna say I think you should have just been honest with him and said, "Son, that is her underwear."
But that was really funny when he mentioned that. Um, but yeah, she came in the ring and she did, I think, what she needed to do to have a presence in the ring and kind of, you know, be there. Like she didn't, as some people would say, botch anything. Like everything was clean and looked done professionally from an
Yeah.
execution standpoint. So, I mean, she didn't have to do much, which is good. You want to make sure that when you're going to introduce somebody that's been known to have issues from the wrestling aspect, minimum is most, is best, and then done.
hmm hmm hmm
Yeah,
hmm
I mean, I think she'll I think she's going to be fine. Um, honestly. They're gonna put her in like I said, she'll be in that ring at least three times, and the third time is gonna be time when she gets the pin. Or depending on the match, how long the match goes, she might be in there four times. She's gonna do some stuff. She's gonna have some spots, things of that nature. She's gonna show her power like she should. They need to advertise that in regards to her. But the other five ladies are probably gonna be doing most of the work, and
I
that's
I
fine.
re
It is what
I
it is.
really I really thought you were about to say something else when you said show her power. I'm like, I know her
There better not
costumes
be none
could.
of that. There better not no no pee pee going on, no pee popping.
Well,
Okay.
I was just gonna say like look, I know her
Squashing heads
costumes could.
between those thighs.
I know her costumes could technically get more revealing, but not much.
Yeah, where she's gonna have like a special WrestleMania gear and outfit for that. God,
That could be her finisher, the watermelon crush.
That's racist.
uh, I love
That
it.
is not racist. Have you ever seen those videos where women crush the watermelon with their thighs? The
Yes.
watermelon crush.
Yeah, aren't they usually African American women?
Nope, not at
No,
Oh,
all.
okay.
no.
Well, watermelon is one of those things that's sometimes like uses like a racial context thing against
Yes,
African
I
American
know,
people.
but in
So
this context, it is definitely not. It is definitely
okay,
it was a trend on, not on TikTok because I don't think TikTok was around then. I think it was like vines that were going around, like it was a vine.
Well, I can't say that I've ever seen them because whilst I have my own strange predilections, if you will, I can't say watching women crush watermelon between their thighs has ever been one of them.
No, definitely
Just you
not.
know, if she sits on your face, she's gonna crush your head.
Yeah, see that? Well, yeah, it's like who are they trying to be? Are they trying to be Famke Janssen's character from GoldenEye? You know, where remember she like killed the guys by squeezing them between her thighs and shit.
Just trying to show off that firepower.
Could be
Yeah.
worse ways. Could be worse ways to go. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, gasping for air is not a fun way to go. I mean, yes, I understand what you're saying, but it's like, so we're gonna have UConn against Alabama in one Final Four game, so that's a shoot me game.
Aw, don't be mad because Alabama beat UNC.
Of course I'm mad because UNC pissed the game away in the last couple of minutes, and also because I've always hated UConn, and I don't want to see UConn win again, but I obviously can't root for Alabama. And then in the other two games tomorrow, what is it? We got Purdue against Tennessee and Duke against NC State. I mean, well, Duke's a nightmare for me too. So
And
I room
the
for
Final
NC
Four
State and
should the
Purdue.
Final Four will be. It's not going to be until Friday next week, right? Final Four.
it's Saturday and Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say yeah.
So that's the only good thing about Carolina having lost is that I don't have to worry about missing them play next week because obviously I wouldn't be able to watch it. So
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Because we'll be at the good old mania,
we'll
brother.
be at yes, in exactly 7 days from now, we'll probably all be shivering watching the main event tag match.
No,
Yes.
we'll be watching the entrance for the main event tag match at this point in time.
Oh God, no! If it's so that match is only starting 4 hours into the show, then I shall be very put out.
All
Yeah.
I know is I plan on taking a nap before I meet you guys.
I plan on napping on the drive down there.
Well, I have very
Where
comfortable seats, so
where are we meeting at, by the way? We meeting at
I
Pat's?
Well, this is what I was talking about, saying about how close my office is to the turnpike. I was thinking maybe you
does
guys
your
want to pick
does
me.
your office have parking that anybody can park at, or is it private parking for only
No,
office workers?
anybody can pull into the parking lot.
What is is your office number 7350 by any chance?
No,
Okay, just double checking because that was my old office number when I worked on Tillman Street.
no.
You're gonna make me drive to
Technically,
Tillman
the
Street?
address of the building isn't Tillman Street either, although it faces Tillman Street, but the address is the other road that crosses it. So yeah, I don't want to say any more than that though, in case somebody gets mad at me and tries to stalk me.
Trying to think what road. Snowdrift crosses that road, and then there's.
I will
I
not say which road it is. We can talk about it after.
I I I don't I don't remember.
Stalkers.
I don't remember.
Because I'm trying to think what buildings are there. Like I'm trying to get a mental picture of the buildings.
Oh dear, Jeremy trying to paint a mental picture. We'll be here all night.
Yes,
Oh
we should play
Lord.
picture page. Picture page. Picture page.
No, we
Pictionary?
shouldn't
Yeah,
because that
Pictionary.
just reminds me of one person.
I don't even know.
No, I don't know what he's talking about.
To me, the guy who always sang about doing the picture pages was Dr. Cosby.
Oh,
Oh, God. Okay.
Picture pages, time to do your picture pages. Yeah, geez, now I'm gonna have to go see if I can find that on YouTube for Christ's sake.
Oh God. Please no.
Thanks.
you're
Now
welcome.
you're gonna
Glad
have
I
me
could.
typing his name into YouTube. Now they're probably gonna start showing me, recommending me to watch Cosby Show episodes, which I don't want to do
They probably will,
for
so don't do it.
obvious reasons.
Oh.
I
But
don't know what you're
being that I
talking
never
about.
really
Once
found the
again, I'm
Cosby Show
lost.
funny to begin with.
Yeah. What's our final thoughts for WrestleMania?
I hope it's good. If Cody doesn't win, I might just be done with
We're
wrestling.
burning down the link.
I'm dead serious though. Wrestling has just gotten to the point
Gasoline
where
and
I
fire and matches in my
no,
car.
but I'm serious. It's like I just got to the point where
Molotovs.
so much of wrestling that I watch annoys the hell out of me, whether it's WWE or AEW. So it's like if Cody doesn't win, then I'm just like, what's the point? They're just gonna drag more shit out. We're gonna have to see more shit with The Rock. And one guy challenged me to say, so why is it like any different if he does it this way or there? It's like, oh, you know what? I don't really have a good answer for you, nor do I have to answer you.
I'm
Random person on the internet. I can just. What do you care if I say I'm not going to watch wrestling anymore?
I just
Your
want it to be
reply
an
should have been
overall
nanny
good
nanny
show.
boo boo.
Well,
I just want there to be good food. I want the show to be,
try not to be that
good
judgmental.
matches. Um, and just have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But
Yeah. I want to have a good time. I want there to be matches that are good that have like I'm okay with being shocked by an ending,
yeah, throw
but
some
it's got to make
curveballs
sense.
at us.
But the ending should make sense with where they could take a story.
Yeah.
Um, if you're gonna shock me with an ending, at least have it make sense as to where can you go with the story from there. And yes, good food because um, gonna at least eat a meal each night, so want to at least have two good meals in that. So
Yeah. Pick and choose. But
I do not intend to bring cash.
I'm sorry. I don't
and
think there's going to
well,
be very many places that are going to accept cash to begin with.
no, I'm pretty sure they're pretty much cashless. Yeah, they are completely
Well, that's
cashless
my
there. I
point.
was
They
there.
should be. They should be. So
Yeah, I was there for that Luke Combs concert, and they are definitely cashless. There is no cash
Mhm.
there. So
Yes, because the payment processor, I believe, is my company. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
yeah, it's
pretty much cashless.
but I
But
don't know. I feel like we should try and sneak some snacks in. I feel like we should sneak some
oh, we're gonna
snacks
get
in.
confiscated, bro. We sneaks any shit in.
this is going to take a long time. So you
Yeah,
may want to get some snacks.
I mean, snacks waiting to get in and then throwing it away. I can take a couple snacks there, but like sneaking them in, I doubt if we're gonna be able to do that.
I was going to say, should we try to go full Sakamoto and sneak in,
I think
Sure,
I
or
can
what
but
was
get
the,
some. Like if I have a hoodie on, I think I can put some stuff in the pouch there in the front, like a bag of M&Ms or something like that. I think I can get away with that.
or there was like there's a joke of the
Joe's like,
there's a
"Yep,"
joke.
and then they pat you down, and they're like, "What is that in there? Them some M&Ms? I take them. I
what's
like
in
me
your
And there
pocket
M&Ms."
there?
was
I still seeing it hanging down.
there was a joke on an old strong bad email where he's talking about going to the movies. He's like, then you got the people who try to sneak in their all you can eat their own all you can eat fajitas.
It
And it
is.
cuts to like one of the other characters has got like all the freaking sizzle plates with them and everything. It's like how the hell did he even do that? So
All right, then. I think we should, but we're good. We'll wrap it up for our WrestleMania
All
because
right.
next week, people, we're going to throw some stuff on Instagram, throw some things up on our Facebook page. Maybe throw something on YouTube because we're going to take some videos and pictures and whatnot while we're there the 2 nights and then start posting stuff on our social media. So
I think we'll
please
try
take
and
a
take a
gander.
picture, and we'll take a picture of us three, and we'll point it up towards where our other friend will be sitting, and we'll put a dot where he should be.
Ah, yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that.
then we shall take a picture of a butt and say which one of us is it? Ha 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 ha.
Yes, yes.
I didn't say a bear butt, so
Nah,
because
no,
first of all, it's gonna be very difficult to get a bear in there.
yes.
Yes, you're kind of already a bear to begin with.
We can just
Shut your
dress you
mouth,
up in a
bitch.
costume. But
So, oh man, that's funny. Yes, it's gonna be a good time. We will have a good time. I plan on sleeping in on Sunday and Monday because I took off of work on Monday because I'm like I ain't even trying to get up on Monday because I
Oh,
know we
how
probably won't get
nice
home.
that you're allowed to take off that day.
I'm off Monday to fly home, and I took off Tuesday too, bitches. Ha ha.
Oh, but both of you can just eat my ass, all right?
Only if you were somebody else.
Throw some money on that bitch.
I thought it was jelly or syrup.
Uh, Lord. All right, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for everybody for watching.